welcome to another episode of Game Overcast. My name is David Kaelin. I am the Game Over CEO, and thank you for joining us. It's another fantastic Friday here in Game Over Land. And this week's show, because we're coming up on CGF, it's right around the corner. It's literally next week. And so first of all, there's going to be no show next week. Sorry. But CGF prep, if you could even see the room that we're in right now around the camera, like there's boxes everywhere, and it's only going to get worse in the next week. Like there's just going to be no room, no time, no mental space or capacity in me to do it, time to prepare anything, just won't happen. So sorry in advance, but there won't be a show next week. We will be at CGF and all live in CGF. So this is the pre-CGF countdown show. So yes, Dan is excited. Are you excited? I'm excited.
Ow!
Yes. It is a lot of fun. It's bigger and better every year. This year will be, no different in that respect. It will be bigger. It will be better. It will be more exciting. And we're going to do actually the main part of this Game Overcast show today is going to be all about the Classic Game Fest 2022 preview show. Thank you for all those cool sound effects.
That's Mario.
Was that Mario excited? Yeah. He's like, hoo-hoo, it's to me, a CGF, hoo-hoo, I love it.
Come meet the real Mario.
Yeah.
In video game form.
CGF right around the corner. It's Friday. We're gonna have fun. We'll do another show the week after CGF. That'll have our full CGF wrap up. Hopefully Dan and I will film some stuff at CGF.
Are you gonna write a wrap for the wrap up?
I could wrap the wrap up. Do you want me to wrap a wrap up?
Roku could help you with that.
I'll put the hat on backwards. Yeah. Like, this is the wrap about CGF. It's gonna be awesome and crazy as heck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty good off the dome.
Okay. So I'm sure I'll have lots of time to plan that over the next 2 weeks.
Well, what do you got going on?
I got nothing going on. But anyway, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy the show. And if you have any questions about CGF, what is it? Where is it? Cost, details, rules.
Where's the
kissing booth information, how to find me or Dan there. It's all coming to you today on this episode of Game Overcast. So stay tuned for the full lowdown on CGF. So let's get right into it with the rest of the show, the Game Overcast show, and do level 1 with current events. And we're back with level 1, current events. So what's going on in the world of gaming? Classic Game Fest is going on in the world of gaming. That's it.
That's it.
You get all your news here, and that's all the news I have to share. Classic Game Fest is next freaking week. So mark your calendars, buy your tickets, get your vendor booth, tell your friends, post on social media, and just be ready for the biggest retro gaming event in Texas, one of the biggest in the entire country. It is coming your way soon. I have no other news stories. It's CGF all the time. This is like CNN, your CGF news network. So that's it. So let's go to level 2, company events, and find out what's going on at Game Over. And we're back with level 2, company events. So what's going on at your local Game Over video game store right now? Well, we do have some sales coming up. The sale going on right now from July 15th through July 21st is a Funko Pop blowout sale. So you remember the Funko Pops, the little figures with big heads? They used to be everywhere, and now not so much. Well, also the same at Game Over. Like, we used to have a bunch of them, now not so much. But we are clearing out everything else we have left. So if you ever wanted one and were thinking about it, on the fence about it, weren't sure whether to buy the figure, get it now, because we're not getting any more ever. And everything that we have, we're selling out and getting rid of. So 50% off all Funko Pops from July 15th through July 21st at all of our stores. Also, you can do it online at GameOverVideoGames.com with coupon code FUNKO50, FUNKO 50. That's the sale. After that, it's CGF, baby. It's July 23rd, 24th, the CGF weekend. And so Game Over has no sales going on that week because it's basically minimal staff that week. We're all gonna be focused on CGF. If you want a deal, come to CGF. Come see us there. Upcoming events, we do free monthly retro gaming tournaments in some of our stores. It's the second Saturday of every month. So the next one coming up is going to be Saturday, August 13th. And that's going to be in 5 of our stores. It's the one in Bellevue, Washington, the one in Arlington, Texas, the one in, South Austin, the one in Selma, which is by San Antonio, and the one in Houston on 1960 on the north side. So those 5 stores are doing free tournaments, totally free, open to the public. Come meet your friends and neighbors and just have a casual, gaming experience together. It's a lot of fun, and you win prizes if you win. So no penalty if you lose. You win prizes if you win. So you can't go wrong. So definitely check those out. Let's see. And that's all we've got. No new products to show off this week in the web store or anything like that. All of our, stuff on the web store and all the other stuff we're getting in right now that we have literally boxes surrounding us as we film this show right now. All that stuff is going to CGF. We are going to have a huge Game Over booth at Classic Game Fest. So definitely check us out there next week. Let's see, and that's it. So let's go into the feature section now, level 3, and this is going to be our expanded feature on Classic Game Fest. So everything you ever wanted to know and more about Classic Game Fest. What is it? Where is it? Why should I go? It's all going to be next in level 3. So let's check that out now. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to give you a full rundown now on Classic Game Fest. CGF is one of the largest retro gaming events in the country. It's definitely the biggest one in Texas. CGF has been around for 15 years now. This is the 15th anniversary. And so we're going to give you a full breakdown here of what it is, where it is, why you should go, what all is going to be there this year, and the full rundown on Classic Game Fest. So here we go. When is it? So Classic Game Fest is the weekend of July 23rd and 24th. It is located in Austin, Texas at the Palmer Event Center, and that is downtown just on the south side of the river downtown. The building has a fantastic view of the downtown skyline, which is fantastic. So that's where it's going to be. It is the largest retro gaming event in Texas of any kind. It is one of the top 5 retro gaming events in the entire country. Last year, post-pandemic, I think it was the largest one in the country. But we're always one of the top ones in the country. And that's biggest in terms of the square footage it covers, the size of the vendor room, number of attendees, number of vendors, number of guests, number of bands, number of arcades. We are the biggest in Texas on all of those. So Classic Game Fest is huge. It started out in 2007 as basically a tournament at a Game Over video game store. Then it was kind of a Game Over event for the first several years where we just had maybe a few vendors, bands, some tournaments, and it just kept growing every year. About 8 years ago or so, 8 or 9 years ago, split it off from Game Over into a totally separate company. So now it's not part of Game Over anymore. I still own it. Game Over still, sponsors it, and we, staff it with a lot of our store managers and employees, volunteered to, help run the event. But it's run as a separate event, open to all, resellers of any kind, small collectors, resale shops, indie game stores, chains. People from all over the country come there to sell their games. So it is, when it's assembled, it's the largest retro gaming marketplace in Texas, one of the largest in the country. So if you're looking for any game, any hard-to-find retro game, Classic Game Fest is definitely a place to check out. So I want to run through some of the questions about Classic Game Fest and try and answer them for you in this video. So as I said earlier, Classic Game Fest is owned by me. My name's David Kaelin, and I also own Game Over Videogames. And basically, we operate this as a once-a-year event where vendors from all over the country come together, attendees from all over the country come together, and it's really like a huge community bonding experience for the whole retro gaming community. So, we love it. We love getting everybody together. And so here's what's included in Classic Game Fest for anyone that has not been in it recently. So let's see. Okay, sorry. I'm going to go through the details first. So, like Q&A stuff. Are booths still available? Yes, booths are still available. So if you're a vendor wanting to sell your stuff, you're one of those, resellers, just a person with a collection. You don't have to even have a store. But anywhere in the country, if you want to sell games at the largest, to the largest crowd of retro game buyers in the country, this is where you want to be. There are a handful of booths left. We're very close to being sold out. So there's only a few spots left. So definitely, reach out soon if you want to try and snag one of those before they're gone. And information on the booths is at classicgamefest.com. Vendor setup. So if you already have your vendor booth and you want to know details on setup, setup is going to be Friday, July 22nd from 3 to 8 p.m. You can get in there, set up your booth. Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to about 8:30 a.m. you can do kind of final touches on your booth. But then from 8:30 to 9, you have to get it ready to go. And by 9 o'clock, we open to VIPs, so your booth has to be set and staffed and ready to rock. If you're an attendee and you want to just come check out the event, are tickets still available? Yes. We are selling tickets at all Game Over video game stores. Discount VIP tickets are available there for $25 plus tax this year. And also online, you can buy different packages for either Saturday or Sunday or both days. And we even have a package online if you want to get a discounted t-shirt with it. So those are all available online at classicgamefest.com. But yeah, tickets are definitely available right now online. And the hours of the event are Saturday from 10 to 6, Sunday from 10 to 5. If you get the VIP pass, however, you do get in at 9 o'clock on Saturday. So not on Sunday. It's still 10 for everybody on Sunday. But on Saturday, the first day of the event, if you want to get in an hour early to get to that really hard to find stuff first, you need the VIP ticket and you need to be there in line at 9 o'clock ready to run in the door. Or earlier. Yeah, people normally start lining up about 7 or 8 o'clock, at least. The lines will be forming. So get there early if you want to get in first and get the VIP ticket. Kids 10 and under are free, but only with an adult ticket. So you do have to buy the adult wristband and bring your kids with you. Don't just come drop off your bus or minivan and let all the kids get out and run in and run around crazy in CGF with no supervision. We don't want that. We're not babysitters. So, you have to come watch your kids. There's a lot of breakable stuff in there, a lot of, vintage things, expensive things. So please supervise your kids. But they do get in free. You just have to check in at the front desk, get them a kids pass, and it's totally free if they're 10 and under. Let's see. COVID rules. Are there any COVID rules for CGF this year? No. So finally, this is the first time in years, it seems, that there's no requirements. There's no mask requirement. There's no vaccine requirement. There's no extra spacing between the booths. There's no limit to how many vendors we can have. No limit to how many attendees we can have. There's no limits whatsoever COVID related. So if you are elderly or at risk for some, medical reason for COVID, feel free to wear a mask if you like, or keep your distance or take precautions, as needed, or frankly, to not come if you don't feel comfortable in those circumstances. But just so you know in advance, this is a fully 100% back to normal pre-COVID day type event. So it will be packed. It will be crowded. There will be a lot of people there. And I bet there will be very, very few that are masked up. So this is going to be a normal open event. So come expecting that, because that's what it's going to be. This is Texas. There's no more COVID in Texas. Let's see, another question. Can I bring games to sell? Like if you don't have a vendor booth? Yes, but there's some rules with that. If you want to bring games to sell to CGF or at CGF for money or trade for other games at CGF, you can do that as just a regular attendee, but you're limited to just one backpack full of stuff. So it has to actually fit in a backpack that you can wear on you. You cannot roll in luggage, carry in a box or a tub, or bring in, truckloads of stuff or a dolly of stuff and then just plop yourself in a hallway somewhere and start hawking it to anybody that walks by. That is not allowed. So you can bring your stuff in, only a backpack or less of stuff, and you can sell it only to the vendors, the official paid vendors there. You cannot just sit in the hallway or in the corner somewhere or at a table and start selling to regulher attendees.
David,
if you want to sell to attendees, you buy a booth, you cheapskate.
Game Fest a swap meet?
No.
No, it is not.
You can swap with some vendors. A lot of them will buy trades, and so they will buy your stuff. And, a lot of them will trade. You just have to ask. A lot of them will. Some of them won't, but some of them will. You can ask. But the thing we want to emphasize is that if you just buy an attendee ticket, you are not a vendor. You're just an attendee. So you can sell to vendors, but if you want to be a vendor and you want to sell your stuff to anybody there, to all up to 10,000 people that are going to be there, buy a booth. That's what you have to do. So if you get caught doing that, you will either be forced to buy a booth or forced to leave, and we'll take your wristband away. You'll be ejected from the event. So don't do that. Don't make us sick security on you.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Solicitors, what about if you just, buy a regular, ticket to CGF and you have an event that you run? or like a concert coming up, or you work for some other kind of convention or event, and you want to come into our event and go around, handing out, business cards for your business or flyers for your event, and stuff like that, and leave flyers and business cards everywhere, and just market to everybody in the event. Also prohibited. So you will also be thrown out. Again, you can do it if you buy a booth, but if you don't buy a booth, you can't distribute and solicit. That's the rules. So you will also have the same rules as the people selling stuff. So keep that in mind. So how many vendors are there going to be at CGF this year? We right now have over 135. So it's massive. I think the largest one we've ever had is 120 something. And this is different vendors. So it's not just number of tables or number of chairs or stuff like that. I mean, we literally have probably about 500 tables. But the number of vendors, different places to go and buy stuff, is 135, which is nuts. That room is packed. So that's vendors, artists, guests, just about every type of video game related product imaginable, from the games themselves to accessories to collectibles, soaps, artwork. Just amazing stuff at CGF for every video game fan out there. Buy your birthday and Christmas presents early, because this is a massive marketplace. Biggest one ever. Free play arcades we also have every year. We will have more than ever this year at CGF. We have 50 slated to appear at CGF this year. So 50 arcades is pretty big. It's bigger than most local arcades. So just for this weekend only, we will have probably one of the largest arcades in town outside of pinballs at CGF. So that's going to be amazing. So guest list. Who all's coming this year? Let me give you the rundown. Classic Game Fest 2022 guest list includes Kung Fu Master Daniel Pacina, the original actor that the Mortal Kombat characters, or several of the Mortal Kombat characters, are based on. He's going to be there. Warren Davis, creator of Qbert. This is the 40th anniversary of Qbert this year. He's going to be there. Emma Pearl, YouTuber, streamer, also Abdullah Smash, YouTuber, streamer, both of them. They're going to be in a panel. They're going to be at booths. They're going to be meeting and greeting fans. Tons and tons of people, love YouTube and Twitch streamers, and these guys are amazing. So you get to meet them. Tim Kitzrow, he's the guy that was the voice of NBA Jam, still is the voice of NBA Jam. You get to meet him. He'll, I'm sure, give you some of his voice work at the booth. He loves to do the boom shakalaka and stuff like that. So he's amazing. Paul Niemeyer, he's the original artist of Mortal Kombat. So he designed the label, the iconic symbol of Mortal Kombat. So he's going to be there, and you can buy his other artwork and see other things that he's done. Brian Kaelin, the original game designer of Rampage and General Chaos, and he's done a bunch of stuff. I should have written down his whole list, but he's been involved in gaming for decades. Arch Rivals. Yeah. So he's done a ton of stuff and has some amazing artwork, and he's a really nice guy. Nice. All these guys are really nice, actually. Brett Weiss, who's a retro gaming community icon. He's written books for years. He's involved in all the retro gaming groups and conventions and events, and he's just such a great ambassador of the industry of retro gaming. Jordan's Cosplay, amazing costume designer. So she's going to be at one of the costume contest judges, and also have a meet and greet at the event. Jeffrey Wittenhagen and Frank Wood, those two guys run a company called Premium Edition Games, and they're one of the indie game publishers. They put out Switch games, and they do other stuff. Jeffrey writes books, and so they have a great insight on kind of some of the behind the scenes of the retro gaming market of today. So they're great guys to talk to. Ryan Berger, he's the owner of Old School Gamer magazine. So that's one of the few magazines out there these days that really support the retro gaming community. He goes to a lot of events around the country to promote not just his magazine, but also the retro gaming community in general. So he's a great guy. He's going to be there. George G to the Next Level Grayson, great YouTuber out of the Houston area, huge Sega fan. He's been there the past several years at CGF, so he's going to be there, meet and greet and selling merch and all kinds of stuff. And then also David Murray, the 8-Bit guy, another big YouTuber, streamer. People love to watch these streamers, but a lot of times you don't get a chance to meet them in person. And so this is your chance to do that. Everybody on this list is going to have a booth or a meet and greet time at CGF. So you will be able to meet these people in real life, which especially with, the COVID stuff the past several years, a lot of times, people may be huge fans of these people and never been able to meet them, and they're all in one place for CGF weekend. So it's pretty amazing. Bands. Do you like live music? Mm-hmm. Do you like live video game music? Hopefully you said yes to both questions, because we have a ton of that at CGF. So our music lineup for this year, we got The Arcadian, Descendants of Erdrick, Bitforce, Creative Mindframe 1-Up, DJ Rockman, Masters of Unlocking, Zero Wolf, Gross Angel, 88-Bit, and K Murdoch. So that's 10 amazing musical artists spanning all genres of music, piano, guitar, rock bands, hip hop, rap. I mean, every genre, every song that these guys sing too or perform, it's all video game related. So it's really amazing to watch and listen to. It's music to your ears. Panels. We do panels too. So some of the guests that I listed there are going to have panels. Some are, some aren't. But the ones that don't, you can definitely meet them at their booth and talk to them. But some of them are going to have panels upstairs on the main stage. And so you'll get a little more insight into, their influence on game development and, their history and things like that they've done over the years to influence retro gaming. So just a crazy amount of entertainment. I mean, really, this is one of those events that you can't just buy a ticket and, go in and out in an hour and be done. A lot of retro gaming events are like that. You go in, there's like 10 or 15 vendors, you look around, and then you leave. This is a weekend-long commitment. You want to be there early on day one, you will stay till closing day one, and you will want to come back on day two, because there's so much to do, so much to see, so much to buy. It's just an amazing event. So, I can't recommend it enough. I know I'm biased a little bit, but, it really is fantastic. And once you go, you will know what it's all about, what the hype is all about. So, if you've never been to Austin, you might be wondering, well, CGF sounds cool and everything, but what else is there to do in Austin? Well, a lot, actually. Just from the venue itself, you have actually a great view of downtown Austin. So if you like cityscapes and, tall buildings, the downtown Austin skyline is amazing, and it continues to grow every year. New skyscrapers go up every single year. So it's grown incredibly fast. If you haven't been to Austin, Texas in the past, say 10 years or more, you're going to be literally blown away at how big downtown is now. So amazing views right from the venue. Zilker Park, one of the largest urban parks in the country. It's just about a mile down the road, so just a short little Uber ride down the street. One of the icons of the Austin music scene, live music's always huge in Austin. Stevie Ray Vaughan has a statue that's right across the street from the event center where this event is held. So you can actually just walk across Riverside Drive and go check out that statue. And also, there's a great view of downtown from down there. There's a city park right next to the facility, so you can go outside, check out the park. There's a hill. There's normally a little fountain at the bottom of the hill, but I'm not sure with water restrictions, they might have had to turn off the fountain. I'm not sure. So maybe it'll be a fountain. Maybe it'll just be a really hot park, a really hot park. But it is pretty out there. There's restaurants. We will have food at CGF. There's going to be all kinds of snacks and hot dogs and chips and drinks, coffee, alcoholic drinks, like soft drinks, all kinds of stuff like that. Plus, hot dogs and sandwiches and things. In addition, this year, we've got some food truck vendors that are going to be outside on the patio. So we're going to have some barbecue, and I'm not even sure what all else is going to be out there, but we're going to have several food trucks out there outside, so you can go grab some additional food out there. So you will be able to eat in the venue. But if you go outside, even to where you can walk...
Can I eat the
yes,
video games?
You cannot eat the video games, Dan. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, but some games are tasty, but you cannot eat the games. But there are a lot of restaurants around, and just outside of the venue. There'll be plenty of food inside the building or in the food trucks outside. But just across the street from Classic Game Fest, we've got Sandy's, a local hamburger and ice cream joint that's been there for decades. Amazing, old school burger place. Whataburger's right next door. Everybody in Texas loves Whataburger, and it's right there. Then if you go a little further down the street, there's Black's Barbecue. There's P. Terry's Burgers. There's Chewy's and some other restaurants. That whole street in front of the center, Barton Springs Road, if you just follow that down about a mile towards Zilker Park, between the venue and Zilker Park, there's nothing but restaurants along that road. So you can walk or take a short little Uber ride, and there's food all up and down that street. Also, we've got, let's see, Cidercade is down the other direction, down Barton Springs. That's like a cider, bar, like Cidercade. They have arcades, and they have like alcoholic ciders. So that's a pretty cool place. Also, Pinballs has multiple locations around Austin. Lots of, they do video games. They do, games and events, and they have like bumper cars and I think axe throwing now and all kinds of fun stuff to do. So it's a cool entertainment place. Texas Gamers Lounge. They also are like, pay to play arcade. You can hit downtown. The Capitol. If you've never seen the Capitol of Texas, it's in Austin. It's right up Congress Avenue, just again about a mile or so from the venue. So you just drive up Congress. You can see the Capitol. If you go down south on Congress, it's one of the most popular shopping districts in the country. So there's lots of cool like shops and restaurants up and down Congress. Bats. You can stand on the Congress Bridge, which is just a brief walk from CGF to the Congress Bridge, and from there, every night, one of the largest urban bat colonies in the country comes out right at sunset. So if you go up there about 8 o'clock, between 8 and 9 o'clock, you can see tons of bats come out from under the bridge. That's pretty cool. Music, and if you like music outside of CGF, like non-video game related music, it's actually a really cool retro music weekend in Austin. I'm sure they booked it because of CGF. But the same weekend as CGF, on Friday night, you've got one concert at the Circuit of the Americas racetrack. They have a big stadium out there, and you're going to see REO Speedwagon, Styx, and Loverboy. So that's one of them. Also at the Moody Center, which is downtown on like 2nd Street, so real close to CGF, they've got James Taylor and his all-star band. So that's Friday night too. And then Saturday night, if you want some fun, you can head up to Cedar Park, which is a suburb just about maybe 30 minutes outside of Austin, and they're going to have George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic.
What?
Yeah.
When?
I just said Saturday night, the 23rd, I guess, CGF Saturday night. So some amazing music. No, that's at the. Or yes, no, not HEB Center. It's I think called The Spot. It's a place in Cedar Park, a new place in Cedar Park. But yeah, so some cool music around town, and then also there's 6th Street, which is kind of the iconic Austin, bar scene and club scene. Definitely be safe, if you're down there. Sometimes it gets a little crazy down there, but just go with the group and leave with the group. Don't be walking around by yourself down there. But anyway, lots of cool stuff to do in Austin, and the main thing is that we want everyone to check out CGF. If you've never been, it's definitely worth visiting at least once just to see what it's all about. I can tell you all this stuff, and tons of vendors, tons of bands, something you'll want to stay at and hang out at all weekend long. But until you go, you really don't have any idea how big and how fun this event is. It's an amazing, amazing event, and so we're really happy that we have the support that we have for it, and I can't recommend it highly enough. So, again, just to sum up, it's July 23rd and 24th. It's in Austin, Texas, at the Palmer Events Center, Classic Game Fest. It is literally the biggest retro gaming event in Texas, one of the biggest in the country. You can get tickets and more information at classicgamefest.com. And when you're there, you can look for me and Dan.
Yeah.
We'll be walking around CGF, doing announcements, doing video shoots. So if you see me there, just grab me and say, "Hey there, David. Good to meet you." If you see Dan, Dan's going to have his camera recording stuff. So if you want to be in the next commercial for next year's CGF, look for Dan and be like, "Hey, videotape me."
I'm always looking for people smiling.
So yeah, Dan's looking for, big crowds of people having fun, lots of cool merch at the vendors. And so, yeah, there will be a ton of that happening at CGF. So anyway, so that's the full rundown. And if you have any other questions or anything, you can email us at info@classicgamefest.com, or just check out the website, classicgamefest.com. We've got everything posted there. We're posting this week all the schedule info, so most of that's up now. So if you go to the schedule tab on the Classic Game Fest page, you can see, for Saturday and for Sunday, the full list of like when the tournaments are, when the bands are playing, the opening, closing of the event, all the details. It's all there. So we're still making a couple little tweaks this week, but most of the information is already up there now. And by the time you see this video, it should all be up to date and everything available online, so you can go check it out. So that's it. So that's my rundown on Classic Game Fest 2022. We hope to see you there. And we're back with Level 4, the boss battle. So guess what the boss has been battling the past week or so? You remember how I had that trip, I guess last weekend, and lost the last flight, got delayed till the next day, had to rent a car and drive back to Austin in the middle of the night from Dallas. So this time I went through Houston, and didn't have to rent a car and drive back in the middle of the night, but did have issues. It all apparently revolved around Louisville, Kentucky. So. I don't know why. I think in Louisville, Kentucky, it's a very small airport, but I think they literally had one person doing baggage at the whole airport.
Oh my God!
I think it was one person, because when we got to there, it literally took an hour to get the bags to come out the baggage claim from the plane.
What?
Took an hour. When we got on the plane to leave, we got on the plane, boarded, and then sat there 1 hour past our takeoff time, just sitting there at the terminal because they said they were waiting on people to load the bags. Because apparently there was some other flight that needed their bags done or something, and all the whole baggage crew was over there. And so I think it's just one dude, and they were like, go do this. And so he went to do that, and then they're like, oh, by the way, this plane's been waiting an hour, and then he started throwing our bags in there.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with air travel, but it is just crazy. So yeah,
There was an Austin
at least I got
flight.
home. That's the main thing. At least I got home.
Austin flight that was grounded for 4 hours.
An Austin flight for
It was
4
good
hours for
weather,
what?
though.
There's no weather in Austin. It's just hot.
It was the other day. I read about it.
Huh. Well, Dan's saying something got delayed in Austin for an hour, and that can't be weather related though, because unless it's just so hot that the plane, like it can't take off, or the wheels are melting on the runways or something. That may be a thing in Austin.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, this past weekend in Austin, it was like 110 or something. Like, not the feels like the actual thermometer was like 108, 109, 110. It was nuts. So, yeah. So anyway, not a huge boss battle. Again, luckily, and knock on wood, I'm so grateful that we got home and everything fine. But it literally took an hour in Louisville 2 times, so it wasn't a mistake. That's just, I guess, the way it is in Louisville. I don't know, but it took us an hour to get our bags off the plane, and then when we got on the plane to leave, it took an hour for the plane sitting there after we boarded, after we were supposed to take off, an extra hour for them to load the bags. I don't get it. I don't understand air travel. I really don't. But anyway, I did get home, and so it's a little boss battle this week. It's not major. It's just irritating. But if I had been delayed till the next day again and had to drive home from Houston, then I really would have been irritated. So that's it. That's it for the boss battle. So please, airlines, get your stuff together, man. Come on, you're killing me, airlines, killing me. But let's go on with the show. Let's do the bonus level, do fan feedback. That's my favorite part. So we'll see what the questions and concerns and comments are out there from you, the viewing public of Game Overcast. And we're back with the bonus level, fan feedback. So this is where I go through all your comments from the past week, anything on the podcast streams, the Facebook post, the YouTube post, anywhere you see or hear the show, and have the ability to reach out to me, please do so. Let me know how you like it. Also, you can email directly to podcast@gameovervideogames.com. Those emails come straight to me, and I'll check it out and maybe mention you on the show. So let's see. Let's go through the roundup this week. So we've got good comments, awesome video, keep up the good work, have a great summer. Yeah, have a great summer, everyone. Let's see. A new commenter, Retro Funhouse. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching the show. They said, hey, this is a fun show. Thanks. Thanks for listening. Let's see. Chris, he called me the Cart Whisperer for last week. Because I was just based on feeling the cartridges, guessing what the carts were. So he called me the Cart Whisperer. So that's nice. Also, some questions about CGF. I guess I may have covered some of these earlier, but let's see. How do you decide on the crew for CGF? Is it just like Austin people or CGF, vets from the past? Kind of both. We do the CGF crew now because it's not really owned by Game Over anymore. It's just we still staff it a lot. All of the managers at Game Over, basically volunteer to work for that weekend, and we, pay them to help, to help out at CGF. So we get managers from all the Game Over stores that are available to help. Some of the employees from Game Over stores that want to help, they come too. We also take volunteers. And so it's between all those people. I mean, it takes about 50 people to run CGF now. So it's a pretty big crew. But it's about 20 Game Over employees and only about 30 volunteers. And then, me kind of, the ringleader, just telling people what to do. That's my specialty, telling people what to do. So that's kind of how we do the staffing for CGF. CGF inventory, some questions about that, like where does the stuff come from? I guess you're talking about the Game Over stuff or the Game Over booth. So Game Over does have a big booth at CGF. We always, as one of the founding members of CGF, we always have like the big booth right up front. So in that booth, it's stocked by stuff from our online store, but also products from all of our Game Over stores. So like every store contributes to it. So yeah, we get stuff from everywhere, plus new things that we order in just for CGF. So there's always a big selection at the Game Over booth at Classic Game Fest. So yeah, it comes from all over the place.
My grandma's attic.
It doesn't come from Grandma's attic, no.
It comes from a garage sale down the street.
No. All of it comes from Game Over, sources. But yeah, always a great selection, and in some cases a lot more selection, and especially more rare and unique stuff than we ever have at a single Game Over store, because we pull some of the best and most amazing things from all of our stores and put it together in one big booth. So it's always a sight to see the Game Over booth at CGF. Let's see, another question. Oh, okay, this is somebody last week was talking about they called it Caveman Dave. Voice, where I was like, "Ooh, me mad at game. Ooh, I'm gonna chase owner down in his big moving box on wheels." He said now it's come clear that it's not that. It's not Caveman. It's Dinobot, like Grimlock from the Transformers. Like, "Oh, Optimus, me no like Decepticon. Me join you. We fight." So anyway, so that's cool. Let's see. Larry commented. Our good friend Larry. He says, "How are my dudes?" So. How you doing, dude? He's got COVID or had COVID. I guess he's probably over it by now. This is funny. His comment said, "I had COVID. It was asymptomatic. Just had coughing and sore throat for a few days." And I was like, but aren't those symptoms? So you're not asymptomatic if you had symptoms, right? I don't know.
I mean...
I'm no doctor, but I think an asymptomatic means no symptoms, and then coughing and sore throat are actual symptoms. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. He's also very curious about the River City Ransom or River City Saga game that's coming out, because he liked River City Ransom too. And so, yeah, we both have that in common. We should play that together on the show. That's what we should do. And I'll just run around chasing you around the screen, beating you up. So that'll be fun. Let's see. He has finished the original River City Ransom and recommends that I do that too. So maybe I can do that on the show. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it on the show or not, but we could try. We could try and play it on the show. And I was talking also about, he calls us like my dudes, and I was like, hey, you remember that guy Argyle on the new season of Stranger Things? He's always saying my dudes. And so Larry's never seen Stranger Things. I was like, what? It was like the #1 show on Netflix for the past like 4 years. I don't know how you've never seen Stranger Things, but you should watch it. It's a good show. It's really exciting and well done.
Predates.
Yeah, there was like Bill and Ted talk like that, and just 80s surfer talk from California, that kind of stuff, and I don't know, but it's just funny. It just struck a chord with me as I just heard that recently on Stranger Things, and then I've heard Larry recently say it, so I just put those two together. So anyway, I don't know, but I was shocked he hadn't seen Stranger Things yet. I thought everybody had seen that show at some point, or at least tried it. Maybe not seen the whole 4 seasons, but at least aware of what it's about. So anyway, so that's it. That's it on the feedback. So yeah, that's it for the week, guys. It's really, it's all focused on CGF at this point. My whole world this week and going into next week is all revolving around Classic Game Fest and making sure that it goes off as smoothly as possible, and that I have all the schedules posted, the staff assignments in place, all the merch and the booth layouts and, everything. And it's like a million things, to do, which always seems like you have plenty of time to do since it's only once a year that this thing happens. But once you get into July and it gets close to CGF, it's really crunch time and things really have to come together kind of all at once. And it's just rapid fire. I've got to do this. I got to do this. Got to do this. Everything has to be done like this week. So I have a lot to do. So I'm sorry to miss the show next week. But please come see us at Classic Game Fest. We'd love to see you there. Grab Dan, grab me if you see us and say hi. We'd love that. But otherwise, we'll join you then the following week with our normal time and day on, I guess, July 29th or whatever, that Friday after CGF. And we'll give you a full rundown of CGF and hopefully show some cool stuff that we film at CGF. So anyway, that's it for this week, or for the next 2 weeks. So I hope y'all have a great July. Please come out to Classic Game Fest July 23rd and 24th in Austin, Texas. And then we will see you again the week after on the 29th. So have a great July. Stay cool. Stay in the AC, guys. It is hot as hell out there.
Here's what I look like.
Thank you. And
here's what I look like.
Oh, yeah.
If you
this is
wanna
Dan.
See me at this is the face.
Yeah, so you'll see him with the camera and me
good.
probably wearing this yellow shirt, but we'll be out just running around like in the hallways of CGF.
I'll have a shirt on too.
He might even have a shirt with sleeves.
Or maybe I'll be shirtless.
Or maybe he'll just be like, posing, like flexing.
I might just show off my Classic Game Fest chest tattoo, if you're lucky.
Do you have a chest tattoo of Classic Game Fest?
Yeah, see?
Oh, man. He really does. That is nuts. Hey, do you know what else will be at CGF? Just to give you a little additional thing that I somehow forgot to mention on that big list earlier. Content? We've got a tattoo artist at CGF this year.
What?
So you literally can get a CGF tattoo or a video game related tattoo at CGF this year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
That is cool. So, so definitely check that out. But anyway, have a great week, everybody. We will see you at CGF next week or on the show 2 weeks from now. So that's it. Have a great week. Game over. If you want people to not bother you and just stand there in your puddle of grease and flip burgers, go do it. Okay.
Puddle of Grease sounds like a metal band.
Yeah, Puddle of Grease was good in the 80s. Oh, man.
So good.
They had that song like Cook My Meat. It was good.
And that they had their soft album and they just ruined.
Yeah, remember they did the hair metal ballad?
Late
like
80s.
love me like a steak.
Late 80s was not kind to Puddle of Grease.
Lick me like a steak and chew me like a burger.
Because the guitarist left, and then
yeah, there was nothing after that.
He was really writing all.
He was the band. Because he could play the guitar with one hand, and he had like a hamburger in the other hand.
He had a burger holder on his guitar neck, so he could.
Okay.
I caught a crumb in my mouth from him once. Front row seats.
You caught a what?
Caught a crumb in my mouth.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's
good.
awesome.
Good. I still have it in my mouth.
Yeah. That's how the whole throwing picks into the crowd started. It used to be like picks out of his teeth of food.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
And it's like, oh, I ran out of burger. I guess I'll just throw this other plastic pick I have.